కార్యక్రమంపై మీ అభిప్రాయాలు తెలియజేయగలరు. యూట్యూబ్ www.youtube.com/c/dd Saptagiri.
స్క్రీన్ మీద కనబడుతున్న QR కోడ్ని స్కాన్ చేయడం ద్వారా DD Saptagiri యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ని వీక్షించగలరు. మరిన్ని అప్డేట్స్ కోసం DD Saptagiri యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి.
ఈమెయిల్ ddSaptagiri@gmail.com. ఫేస్బుక్ www.facebook.com/DD Saptagiri. ట్విట్టర్ twitter.com/DD Saptagiri VJA. ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ www.instagram.com/DD Saptagiri.
Good morning, children. Welcome back to the series of Vidyavaradhi series of programs organized by the Department of School Education and DD Saptagiri. First, I would like to request you that all of you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can access these lessons. And today's lesson we will be doing the COVID pledge. We will do it in Telugu and I'll say it out. I request all of you to repeat as I say. First you start with your name. So it's COVID-19 pratigna. Dash anu nenu COVID-19 వ్యాధి గురించి ఎల్లవేళలా పూర్తి అప్రమత్తతో ఉంటూ నాకు మరియు నా సహచరులకు వ్యాధి సోకకుండా తగు జాగ్రత్తలు తీసుకుంటాను. COVID-19 వ్యాధి వ్యాప్తి అరికట్టడం కోసం అవసరమైన అన్ని ముందు జాగ్రత్త చర్యలు నేను పాటిస్తూ ఇతరుల చేత పాటింపజేస్తాను. నేను ఎల్లప్పుడూ ముఖ్యంగా పబ్లిక్ ప్రదేశాలలో ముఖానికి మాస్క్ ధరిస్తాను. ఇతరుల నుండి కనీసం 6 అడుగుల దూరం పాటిస్తూ జాగ్రత్తగా ఉంటాను. నేను తరచూ చేతులు సబ్బుతో పరిశుభ్రం చేసుకుంటాను. నేను ఈ నియమాలు పాటిస్తూ అందరి చేత పాటింపచేస్తూ కలిసికట్టుగా COVID-19 పై విజయం సాధిస్తానని ప్రతిజ్ఞ చేయుచున్నాను. Thank you all. Next, as you know, children, we have a twinning program jointly organized by the Union government. The spirit is that to promote national integrity among the different cultures and languages of India, the government has come out with an initiative called Ek Bharat Shreshth Bharat. This is a twinning program. As you know, children, Andhra Pradesh is a state where Telugu is spoken, and in Punjab, Punjabi is spoken. So these two languages are twinned. That is, the speakers of Telugu language will be trying to understand Punjabi, whereas the Punjabi speakers, that means the students of Punjabi schools, will try to understand something about Telugu language and its culture. Now, as a part of that, we will try to know about a proverb from Punjabi. This is the proverb. Tu vi rani, mai vi rani. Kaun bharega pani. It is a 2-line proverb. I repeat, tu vi rani. It is this language is very similar to Hindi. In Hindi we call bhi also kuda. Tu vi rani, you are also a queen. Mai vi rani, I am also a queen. कौन भरेगा पानी? Who will fill the pitcher with water? This is the true translation of the proverb. This means if you want to be respected, you are eligible for to be respected, but at the same time you cannot get the things done as and when you need. So if you want to do certain things, if you want to get certain things done, you have to come down to the level of ordinary status or ordinary people's status. Okay, this is the spirit of the Punjabi proverb, and we will hope that in the coming future we will try to know some more things about Punjabi. Okay, then today we will be doing 3 parts. That is, as a part of our session, we will first do some grammar on noun clauses, then we will try to know some learn a new poem, then we will do some speaking activity. Okay, then let's move to the noun clauses part. Children, we have certain elements which are important to learn the language. Here we have a concept called noun clause. I give you some examples. Look at the slide. One student said that he had an attack of headache. This sentence is taken from Swami is expelled from the school. This sentence, one student said that he had an attack of headache. The sentence has 2 clauses. Okay, one student said is one clause. The remaining part, that is that he had an attack of headache, is the second part, that is which is called subordinate clause. This sentence we have 2 clauses. One is the main clause, the other is the subordinate clause. In order to understand this concept better, let us go back to a basic concept. The language is learnt, or the grammar of a language can be understood by means of words, phrases, clauses and sentences. This will be the construction of language. So the basic one is the word. For example, in the slide you can look at elephant. Elephant is a word. Likewise, you can take any word and it is a word and it has some meaning. Next level, it is phrase. Phrase is a group of words. In the slide you can look at the 2 phrases: on the road, in the bed. Okay, on the road there are 3 words and together they give some meaning. On the road, road meeda, you will have that meaning. But in any phrase you don't have a verb. You can look at that. On the road, in the bed, రోడ్డు మీద, మంచం మీద, ఈ రెండిట్లో కూడా ఎక్కడ మనకి క్రియ అనేది కనిపించదు. we don't find any kind of verb here. Next level is clause. This is important. Clause, because we came across the word in the previous slide. If I come is a clause. The reason is it has a verb. But it also gives some meaning. Next is sentence. He came yesterday. You can take any sentence. This is just one example of, you can have many examples. He came yesterday. Even in sentence also we have a verb. It has a tense. It is in the past tense. And if you can try to understand, if you want to understand better, let us try to compare what is a clause and what is a sentence. Clause is not complete. Of course, it has a verb and sentence also has a verb, but the clause is not complete. It gives some meaning, but it cannot convey complete meaning by itself, whereas the sentence can convey the meaning completely. So, this is how you can understand the difference between a clause and a sentence. So far we have looked at 4 different words. The word, phrase, it's a group of words and it does not have a verb in it. Clause, it has a verb in it, but it cannot convey meaning completely by itself. It is depending on something else. Whereas sentence, it also has a verb. The verb also will have a tense, and at the same time, unlike the clause, a sentence can convey meaning completely by itself. This is the difference we should understand. From this background, we will try to understand the different clauses we come across. Okay? Then the same thing you can look at in this slide. Clause is incomplete in meaning. The same example we have taken. If I come, so if I come, then vaste, there is a verb and it cannot convey, it also gives some meaning, but it cannot convey the complete meaning. Sentence is complete in meaning. Example, the same example, he came yesterday, right? Then there are 2 types of clauses. One is main clause. Within brackets you can see the explanation. It can stand on its own. It need not depend on the other thing. Subordinate clause, it depends on the main clause. So subordinate clause is always it always depends on the main clause. So we will come across these 2 clauses so that whenever we discuss clauses, this basic knowledge we should always try to have. Next, the subordinate clause is the object of the verb said and it is a noun clause. The same explanation is given. The noun clause can also appear in subject position, as can be seen from the following sentence. Sentence number 2. What you say is not clear to me. This is the sentence. So a part of the sentence is underlined. What you say. See, if you carefully look at, if we replace the underlined part with it in the above sentence, the sentence structure will be complete. That means as such the sentence is complete by itself. అంటే వాక్యం అక్కడ కూడా పూర్తిగానే ఉంది, కానీ if you want to understand it better, replace the underlined part with it. It అనేటువంటి ప్రొనౌన్ తోటి దాని స్థానంలో ఇట్ కనుక ఉపయోగించినట్టయితే ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ క్లియర్ టు మీ, నాకు స్పష్టంగా తెలియడం లేదు అది అని అర్థమవుతుంది. సో ద అండర్లైన్డ్ పోర్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద సెంటెన్స్ ఈజ్ సర్వింగ్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ఎ నౌన్. అది అంటే ఆ క్లాజ్ మొత్తం, ఆ వాట్ యూ సే అనేటువంటి భాగం మొత్తము ఒక నౌన్ చేసే పని చేస్తుంది. అది మనం ఇక్కడ అర్థం చేసుకోవాల్సింది. సో వాట్ యూ సే ఈజ్ నాట్ క్లియర్ టు మీ. నెక్స్ట్, the bottom of the sentence, he felt that the punishment was not appropriate. He felt that the punishment was not appropriate. Next, from the given sentences, try to identify the noun clauses from the given sentences. I wondered what he was doing there. 2, he replied that he would come. She asked if I could help her. That honesty is the best policy is a well-known fact. I expected that I would get the first prize. See, try to understand these. 6th one, do you know why he is late? I don't know what he wants. Listen to what I am going to say. That she should forget me so quickly hurts me. That you should behave like this is strange. See, I just let us revisit the same slide, the previous slide, and try to understand the sentence and identify the noun clause embedded in the sentence, noun clause used in the sentence. ఈ వాక్యంలో వాడినటువంటి noun clause ఏదైతే ఉందో దాన్ని ఐడెంటిఫై చేయడానికి, గుర్తించడానికి ప్రయత్నం చేద్దాం. I wondered what he was doing there. I wondered, that is verb, subject and verb. Then I is the subject, wondered verb. What he was doing there, అతడు అక్కడ ఏం చేస్తున్నాడో తెలుసుకోవాలనుకున్నాను నేను. That what he was doing there is the noun clause. And in this sentence, this noun clause is acting as an object. Okay. Then second one, he replied that he would come. He replied, subject and verb, that he would come is acting as the object. She asked if I could help her. She asked, she is the subject and asked is the verb. And the remaining part, if I could help her, is the noun clause. So this is what we need to understand. That honesty is the best policy is a well known fact. If you look at this sentence, you can only identify the sentence and the noun clause in it if you carefully identify the verb. Wow. Can you please identify the verb in the fourth sentence? Is a well known fact. Is the verb, and all the whole phrase that is that comes before is the noun clause. That honesty is the best policy is a well known fact. Next, I expected I would get the first prize. I expected that. I expected is the subject. I expected verb. That I would get the first prize is the noun clause, and here also this noun clause is acting as the object of the verb. Then, so the same sentences, just look at these sentences, and I wondered what he was doing there. So that's the same sentences we have identified and underlined those noun clauses. Just look at them. So sixth one, do you know why he is late? I don't know what he wants. అతడికి ఏం కావాలో నాకు తెలియదు. Listen to what I am going to say. That she should forget me so quickly hurts me. That you should behave like this is strange. నువ్వు ఇలా ప్రవర్తించడం చూసావా, అది చాలా విచిత్రంగా ఉంది. I never expected this. సో ఇక్కడ దిగువన ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఈ ప్యాసేజ్ని చదివి అందులో ఉన్నటువంటి there are certain words underlined, that, so and it. Replace those words with noun clauses. Adi ante ikkada let us look at the passage. The headmaster entered the class furiously and said that he wanted to know the reason for the absence of some students in the class the day before. Idi mana Swami is expelled from the class, from school నుంచి తీసుకున్నటువంటిది అదే కాంటెక్స్ట్ అనమాట. మళ్ళీ దీనిలో మనం we will try to identify if there are some noun clauses and also do some other activity where we will try to replace the words so, that and it with a noun clause. The headmaster entered the class furiously and said that he wanted to know the reason for the absence of some students in the class the day before. One student said he had suffered from a severe headache. The headmaster said, I don't believe that. The second said that somebody stopped him from coming to school. Next, the headmaster said, I don't think so. Again, you can notice that the word so is underlined. The third said, he too had suffered from a bad headache. On hearing that, the headmaster shouted in anger. The fourth said that he had suffered from a terrible toothache. The headmaster said, I don't believe it. You can notice that the word it is underlined. The fifth said, my grandmother died suddenly. The headmaster retorted that he would ascertain it. He said, I will come to your house tomorrow to know the fact. So, this is a known context from the lesson Swami is expelled from the school. అందులో హెడ్ మాస్టర్ గారు వచ్చి ఈ మొట్టమొదట పిల్లల్ని విచారించేటువంటి సందర్భంలో 5 పిల్లలు ఏం చెప్పారో ఇక్కడ మనకి చెప్పడం జరిగింది. అలా చెప్పేటప్పుడు కొన్ని చోట్ల మనకి అండర్లైన్డ్ వర్డ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఈ అండర్లైన్డ్ వర్డ్స్లో నుంచి మనము ఏం చేయాలంటే we will try to understand the clauses and also the underlined words from the context of the classroom and the Swami and his friends along with the headmaster. Try to understand it from that context, and we will try to replace the words underlined with suitable noun clauses. మళ్ళీ ఇంకొకసారి చూద్దాం. The headmaster said, I don't think so. What does it mean? What does I don't think so mean? So the student said something, and the headmaster does not believe that. So he believes that the student is lying. The student is not coming out with the truth. So these are the sentences we have to trace from the sentence. We will just go to another slide where we can look at these sentences separately. The headmaster said, I don't believe that. So that may be something different. అంటే నేను దాన్ని నమ్మను అంటే ఏమి నమ్మట్లేదు ఇక్కడ. ఆ పిల్లవాడు ఏ కారణం చెప్పాడో, ఒక అతను ఏం చెప్పాడు, నాకు తలనొప్పిగా ఉంది మానేసానన్న. ఇంకొక అతను ఏం చెప్పాడు, నాకు పంటి నొప్పిగా ఉంది మానేసాను అన్నాడు. ఇంకొక అతను ఏం చెప్పాడు, నాకు ఎవరో నేను స్కూల్కి బయలుదేరాను, స్ట్రైట్ అవే స్టార్టెడ్ కమింగ్ టు స్కూల్, బట్ ఆన్ ద వే ఇట్ సో హ్యాపెండ్ దట్ one of the villagers told him that there is no school today and today is a holiday. అందుకని నేను రాలేదు అని చెప్పాడు. సో these sentences are taken and we have to understand the context, and after that we have to replace చేయడం అంటే ఏంటి, అండర్లైన్ చేస్తున్నటువంటి భాగం ఏదైతే ఉందో ఆ భాగంలో ఉన్నటువంటి పదాన్ని తీసేసి దానికి సరిపోయేటువంటి నౌన్ క్లాజ్ వాడి దాని స్థానంలో పెట్టాలన్నమాట. అది సో మళ్ళీ చూద్దాం. ఇక్కడ 3 కూడా ఒకే రకంగా ఉన్నాయి. సో ద హెడ్ మాస్టర్ చూడండి. నౌ లెట్ us try to look at this. The headmaster said I don't believe that. దాన్ని రిప్లేస్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది అంటే ఆ సందర్భంలో అతడు ఆ దట్ అనేది దేన్ని సూచిస్తుంది, వాట్ డస్ ద వర్డ్ దట్ రెఫర్ టు. దట్ అంటే ఏంటి, నేను దాన్ని నమ్మను అని అన్నారు. అంటే హెడ్ మాస్టర్ గారు అదే మాటని 3-4 సందర్భాల్లో అక్కడ ఆ కాంటెక్స్ట్లోనే అన్నారు. కాబట్టి ఆయన నమ్మంది ఏంటి ఇక్కడ, ద హెడ్ మాస్టర్ సెడ్, దాన్ని మార్చడానికి ట్రై చేసాం. ఐ డోంట్ బిలీవ్ దట్ ద స్టూడెంట్ హ్యాడ్ సఫర్డ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఏ సివియర్ హెడేక్. అది దట్ అంటే ఇక్కడ అది దట్. ఇక్కడ నౌన్ క్లాజ్ అవునా కాదా ఇది చూస్తే ఐ డోంట్ బిలీవ్ అనేది 2 వాక్యాల్లో, మొదటి వాక్యంలోనూ తర్వాత మనం రాసుకున్న వాక్యంలో కూడా కామన్గా ఉంది, ఉమ్మడిగా ఉంది. కాబట్టి ఆ తర్వాత వచ్చే భాగం ఉంది దట్ ద స్టూడెంట్ హ్యాడ్ సఫర్డ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఏ సివియర్ హెడేక్, దట్ ఈస్ ఎ నౌన్ క్లాజ్. ఓకే, ఆ నౌన్ క్లాజ్ ఇక్కడ ఆబ్జెక్ట్గా పనిచేస్తుంది వాక్యంలో. నెక్స్ట్, ద హెడ్ మాస్టర్ సెడ్ ఐ డోంట్ థింక్ సో. నేను అలా అనుకోవడం లేదు. ఎలా అనుకోవడం లేదు అనేది అగైన్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు గో బ్యాక్ టు ద కాంటెక్స్ట్. అక్కడ ఏమైనా ఉండొచ్చు. ఏమన్నాడంటే ద హెడ్ మాస్టర్ సెడ్ ఐ డోంట్ థింక్ వాట్ యూ సెడ్ ఈజ్ ట్రూ. సో అనే దానికి అర్థం ఇది అనమాట. దాని సో అనే పదాన్ని తీసేసి వీ హ్యావ్ రిప్లేస్డ్ ద సేమ్ విత్ ఏ నౌన్ క్లాజ్. వాట్ యూ సెడ్ ఈజ్ ట్రూ, నువ్వు చెప్పింది నిజమే అని నేను అనుకోవటం లేదు అని చెప్పని అన్నారు ఆయన. సో ఐ డోంట్ థింక్ వాట్ యూ సెడ్ ఈజ్ ట్రూ. నెక్స్ట్ సెంటెన్స్, ద హెడ్ మాస్టర్ సెడ్ ఐ డోంట్ బిలీవ్ ఇట్. మళ్ళీ అగైన్ ఇక్కడ ఇట్ అనేది అండర్లైన్ చేయబడి ఉంది. నౌ ద వర్డ్ ఇట్ ఈజ్ అండర్లైన్డ్ అండ్ In order to replace it, you have to go back to the context, and going back to the context, we understand that he had suffered, he had a toothache. The same thing is replaced here. The headmaster said, I don't believe that he had a toothache. So, it అనేదాన్ని తీసేసి he had a toothache అని చెప్పి మనం దాన్ని రీప్లేస్ చేసాం అన్నమాట. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ పార్ట్. ఇది ఇప్పటి వరకు ఏంటంటే నౌన్ క్లాజెస్ గురించి మనం మాట్లాడుకున్నాం. ఇవి ఏంటంటే ఇన్ ఎనీ సెంటెన్స్ ఏ నౌన్ క్లాజ్ కెన్ టేక్ ద ప్లేస్ ఆఫ్ ఎ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఆర్ ఎన్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. అది ఇక్కడ మనం అర్థం చేసుకోవాల్సింది ఏంటంటే యూ కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ ఏ నౌన్ ఆర్ ఏ ప్రొనౌన్ can be replaced with the help of a noun clause. We will stop this for the time, and let's have a break for some time, and let us get back to the session again.
మా కార్యక్రమంపై మీ అభిప్రాయాలు తెలియజేయగలరు. యూట్యూబ్ www.youtube.com/c/dd సప్తగిరి.
స్క్రీన్ మీద కనబడుతున్న క్యూఆర్ కోడ్ని స్కాన్ చేయడం ద్వారా డిడి సప్తగిరి యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ని వీక్షించగలరు. మరిన్ని అప్డేట్స్ కోసం డిడి సప్తగిరి యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి.
ఈమెయిల్ ddSaptagiri@gmail.com. ఫేస్బుక్ www.facebook.com/dd సప్తగిరి. ట్విట్టర్ twitter.com/dd Saptagiri VJA. Instagram www.instagram.com/dd Saptagiri.
Welcome back to the session, and once again I would like to remind you that please subscribe to the YouTube channel, DD Saptagiri YouTube channel, so that you can access these lessons at the time of your choice. And there are certain QR codes, quick response codes supplied in through your textbooks, and use them and get the benefit of possibly some illustration is given or a YouTube video is given. With the support of that, you can understand the concept well. So wherever in all subjects, wherever you find a QR code that is relevant to your lesson, and use it by scanning it using a smartphone. Okay, then in the first session, in the previous session, we discussed the noun clauses. Then now we will move on to the another concept called editing. So this today's period it covers three different things. One is noun clauses, the other is a poem, and then we will have some oral activity that will be useful in your school programs and in your real life as well. Okay, now let us look at this activity which is called editing, where as writers, since we are learners of English, we sometimes try to write certain things in English. We will try to express them in English. Our own ideas are expressed in English, but wherever possible, whenever we finish a writing task, we will try to correct it, or we will try to make it better. In order to do that, we will have to look at the improving part from three different planes. So, first a passage is given here and it has some underlined words. Let us read the passage and then we will look at the underlined words and what they mean and what to do with them. Swami went home and says that the headmaster beats him severely. The parents asked that why the headmaster had beaten him. Swami said that the headmaster beats him yesterday. Continued. Swami's father said, why the headmaster has beaten him without any cause. Swami replied to his father that the headmaster beats him every day. Swami's mother told to Swami to attend the classes regularly. This is with some words underlined, and there are certain mistakes or certain things to be corrected. So, in order to make the task easy for us, certain words are underlined. If the word is underlined, that means there is some problem with the word. Okay, and we need to correct it and rewrite it. Swami went home and says that. So, Swami went home is in past tense. So, clearly shows that the sentence the paragraph is talking about a past event. So, Swami went home and says that. So, what is the problem here? Says, S-A-Y-S, says or says. It can be pronounced either way. Naturally, we pronounce it says, and ideally it is pronounced says. Went home is in the past tense and says is in present tense. So, a past passage cannot be expressed in present tense. So, we will have to make it past. Said that the headmaster beats him. Again beats, some problem, same problem. What is it? Beat is expressed in present tense and the instance is past. So, we cannot have it. So, what are the three forms of the verb? Present, past, past participle. Beat, beat, beaten. So, if you want to use the past form, you have to take the second beat. So, the first word beat and the second past form beat are pronounced in the same way. Beat, beat, beaten. Okay. So, if you want to correct it, we have to write the word the headmaster beat him severely. Okay. Beat him severely. Then the parents asked that why the headmaster had beaten him. Again you have a problem here. That is underlined, and children, if you carefully recollect our past discussion, you can understand or you can remember that a WH question can be reported without that, because an assertive sentence can have that in the indirect speech, but a question or a WH question cannot have the word that. It does not need the conjunction that. So, we are not supposed to use it. So, the correct form would be the parents asked why the headmaster had beaten him. Swami said that the headmaster beats him yesterday. Again, yesterday is a past time. So, the verb used is present. So, that is a problem. So, we need to correct it as beat. Okay. Next, Swami's father said why headmaster has beaten him without any cause. Swami's father said, see, if you imagine the direct speech of the sentence, why has the headmaster beaten you, might be the question. So, in order to report that, we choose the word asked. The Swami's father asked why the headmaster has beaten him. Okay, that is one correction. Another correction is the word order is problematic. In any question, the word order will be the subject, verb, verb. Sometimes the verb is in the form of helping verb, main verb. In the question, it so happens that the helping verb always comes before the noun. Why has the headmaster beaten him? It should be the order in the real question, given question. But here the problem is why the headmaster has beaten him, because it refers to yesterday, past time. You cannot have has here, had. So why the headmaster had beaten him without any cause. Swami replied to his father. Swami told his father that headmaster beats him every day. This is beats him every day. Beating is the practice of the headmaster. So every day if it happens, it can be expressed in simple present. So there is no problem with that. As far as the practice is concerned, if it is done regularly, we can have the verb as it is given in the passage. Swami's mother told to Swami to attend classes regularly. Swami's mother, we cannot have told and to. You can only have asked. Swami's mother asked Swami to attend the classes regularly. Okay, this is how we have to correct, and this is slowly we have to practice so that we will become good editors, and when you reach higher classes. Okay, then now we will slowly move on to the next reading. Just we have Swami is expelled from school, reading A, and so reading B is not just a teacher but a friend. It's a poem. Okay, we all of us are in the present position because of the efforts put in and because of the help done by our teachers, right? So here we have great teachers in history. Socrates is a great teacher, and Aristotle is a great teacher. APJ Abdul Kalam is a great teacher, and Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. All these people are very, very great teachers, and they had rich contribution. So because of their greatness, because of their qualities as teachers, we remember them even today. So we have a poem which talks about the greatness of a teacher who helped his student. Okay, not just a teacher but a friend. This is a poem with 5 stanzas. Let's look at one by one now. So this is a classroom, and you can see a teacher and 4 or 5 children are seen in the picture, and the teacher is talking to a student. Okay, and this is the context we can associate with. And naturally a teacher helps the students, is known to help the students. That is why the teachers are always remembered. Okay, now let's go to the poem. I had nowhere to turn, had nowhere to go. This is just something I think you need to know. I don't know what made me trust you. I still remember the day when I told you what I have been through. I thought I should run away, go hide in a hole, but then you really brought out my true soul. So this is expression of feelings by a student to his teacher in oral form or written form. We are not very sure, but the student is expressing his feelings towards the teacher, how he helped, he or she, even that is not known. And even the child, whether the child is a boy or girl, we don't know, but this is what we can understand is just the context where a student is trying to express his or her own feelings about his or her teacher. Again, I had nowhere to turn, had nowhere to go. This is just something I think you need to know. So, sir, madam, this is something which you should know. You need to know my feelings. I don't know what made me trust you. I still remember the day when I told you what I have been through. Something happened. Maybe there was a trouble. Maybe he has had a bad experience. So that is what I have been through. He had been through an experience. He had a bad experience. So that is expressed to the teacher. I still remember that day when I told you what I have been through. I thought I should run away, go hide in a hole, but then you really brought out my true soul. We'll quickly move to the next stanza. As each day grew longer, our trust became stronger. Each time I wanted to cry, you stayed there right by my side. Then I moved to the next grade. Boy, was I afraid that our trust would slowly fade. But I was wrong. We are still strong. Even though sometimes you don't have time, you at least ask me if I am fine. Even though sometimes I am not, I feel like I have just been shot. I smile and say yes, I am all right. Then I walk away and you are out of sight. I'll just have to wait. I still have my fate. I am so glad that you were there when I was sad, and this is what makes you not just my 9th grade teacher, my friend. Okay. Finally, the child is expressing that you are not just my 9th grade teacher, 9th class teacher, but just my friend. The teacher supported the student in such a manner. When there was a trouble and when the student expresses the same trouble to the teacher, he or she saw to it that the child is comforted. Again, we will go back to the stanza 1 and let us try to find out if we can find any rhyming pattern in the end. End rhyme. We will look for the end rhyme. You know, rhyming words అని అంటామే, అలాంటివి ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయేమో చూద్దాం. I had nowhere to turn, nowhere to go. This is just something I think you need to know. First 2 words. If you look at the last 2 words of the first 2 lines, go, no. See, the important thing to note down is your vowel sound should be the same. The ending sound should be the same. Go, no. So the spelling is different and meaning is different, but we call them 2 rhyming words. And again, 3rd line ends with you and 4th line ends with through. You and through. Children, do you think that these 2 are rhyming? Yes, they are rhyming because the vowel sound is the same. You, through, the same vowel sound comes. Next, 5th line, whole and soul. Whole and soul. The spelling is different and even the vowels used also are different, but yet the sound is the same. Whole, soul. Next, stanza 2, longer, stronger. Yeah, these 2 are rhyming words. It is not compulsory that each stanza should have all rhyming words. No, some stanzas have and some stanzas don't have. But we will try to understand how this stanza is like. ఈ స్టాంజా ఎలా ఉంది చూడటం కోసమే మనం చూస్తాం, ఇందులో రైమింగ్ ఉందా లేదా అని చూడటం అనేది ఒక పద్యాన్ని అర్థం చేసుకోవడంలో ఒక భాగం. అంతేగాని ప్రతి 2 లైన్లు ఇలాగే రైమింగ్ వర్డ్స్ ఉంటాయి అనేది లేదు. బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ వన్ వే ఆఫ్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ పోయిటరీ. Longer, stronger. 2 words are rhyming. But 3rd and 4th lines, if you look at cry, side. Do you find any rhyme scheme here? Rhyme avutunaya? You don't find the same vowel sounds and the consonants are different. So you don't find any similarity of the sound. So the words are not rhyming. Next, stanza 3. Grade, afraid. Grade, afraid. Grade. It is not grade. 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 అని చదవటం మన మాతృభాషలో నుంచి మనం నేర్చుకున్నటువంటి దాని నుంచి నేర్చుకునేటువంటి ఒక పద్ధతిని నేర్చుకుంటాం. బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ గ్రేడ్. ఇంగ్లీష్లో అలాంటి సౌండ్ ఉండదు. అంటే ఏఐ అని 3 ఉంటాయి కదా మనకి. మొదటి ఏ ఉంటుంది, రెండో ఏ ఉంటుంది, మూడోది ఐ. ఇవి తెలుగులో ఉండే సౌండ్స్. కానీ ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఆ రెండో ఏ అనేది ఉండదు. రెండో ఏని వేరే విధంగా పలుకుతాం. సో దెన్ నెక్స్ట్ గ్రేడ్ అలా వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏంటంటే దాన్ని ఈఐ రెండిటి యొక్క సౌండ్కి మధ్యస్థంగా పలుకుతాం. గ్రేడ్, అఫ్రెయిడ్. సో దీస్ టూ వర్డ్స్ ఆర్ రైమింగ్. నెక్స్ట్ థర్డ్ వన్ ఈజ్ ఫెయిడ్. సో it seems to be rhyming with the earlier two words, grade, afraid, fade. Okay, the next two words, wrong and strong, rhyming. Yes. Next stanza, time, fine. Yes, two are rhyming. Not and short, rhyming. All right, sight, rhyming. Wait, fate. The same sound problem. In Telugu we have a sound. ఇది తెలుగులో మనకు ఉండటం చేత అది వచ్చి మనకి ఇంగ్లీష్లో మనం ఇంగ్లీష్ నేర్చుకునేటప్పుడు మనకి అడ్డం పడుతుంది అనమాట. అది దానివల్ల ఏంటంటే ఉచ్చారణలో కొంచెం we will face some problem. Wait, fate. It is not fate అని అనం, fate. So these are the rhyming words. All the lines are rhyming. Sorry, all the end words are rhyming. Next, glad, sad. Yes, they are rhyming. And makes you, it is not rhyming with either glad or sad or you, other word, my friend. You and my friend are not rhyming. Okay, this is one way of understanding poetry. And in the end, there are certain words we came across in the poem. Trust is belief, namatam, vishwasinchatam. Hide, put or keep something in a place where it can be seen. దాయటం, దాచటం. ఫేడ్ అంటే రంగు వెలిసిపోతుంది కదా, అట్లాగనమాట. రంగు వెలిసిపోవడం అలాంటిదే ఇది కూడా, ఫెయిడ్. ఇది మనకు వచ్చిన కొత్త పదాలు. ఇటు నుంచి ఏంటంటే ఆన్సర్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ క్వశ్చన్స్. వై డస్ ద స్టూడెంట్ కన్సిడర్ ద టీచర్ హిజ్ ఫ్రెండ్? ఎందుకు టీచర్ తన ఫ్రెండ్ లాగా భావిస్తున్నాడు లేదా భావిస్తోంది? హౌ డస్ ద టీచర్ టేక్ ద స్టూడెంట్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ హిజ్ గ్లూమ్? Why does the student, question number 3, why does the student fail to estimate the teacher correctly? So student teacher ni sarigga estimate cheyala. Why? So again you have to read this poem with the help of your teacher and with the help of your friends. Fourth question, how does the poet glorify the relationship between the teacher and the students? The poet glorified, finally the poet glorified in the last stanza. You will come across that the relation is brought to an undefined sacredness that is expressed in the last parts of the poem. The teacher acted not just as a teacher, not just as a 9th grade teacher, 9th class teacher, but a friend. Okay. This is, I think, I hope all of you will find this poem interesting and read it thoroughly again in your textbook, using your textbooks, and coming back to classes. Hope all of you are doing well. Also, some of our friends are learning at home and most of our friends are learning from schools. Okay, now we have a bridge between the school and home. Even though if you are going to school, this might help you in understanding things better. If you don't go to school, discuss and learn from your teacher or friends. Continue the path of learning and don't forget to subscribe the YouTube channel DD Saptagiri to access these lessons. Thank you and hope we will meet in a different session. Thank you.
ఆ కార్యక్రమంపై మీ అభిప్రాయాలు తెలియజేయగలరు. యూట్యూబ్ www.youtube.com/c/dd Saptagiri.
స్క్రీన్ మీద కనబడుతున్న క్యూఆర్ కోడ్ని స్కాన్ చేయడం ద్వారా డీడీ సప్తగిరి యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ని వీక్షించగలరు. మరిన్ని అప్డేట్స్ కోసం డీడీ సప్తగిరి యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి.
ఈమెయిల్ ddSaptagiri@gmail.com. ఫేస్బుక్ www.facebook.com/dd Saptagiri. Twitter, twitter.com/DDSaptagiriVJA, Instagram, www.instagram.com/DDSaptagiri,